So, boom, we going to get the clips out the way, but we got to start here because I haven't covered this yet. Here is Eddie Griffin making jokes about Shannon Sharpe.
And Club Shay Shay. Oh. Yeah, Shay Shay. Yeah. Gay. I don't give a f. That nigga gay. That nigga sitting there with them tight ass pants on, with his balls and all over the cat's face. And you remember the cat kept looking the other way. You can tell how that nigga drink, nigga. He kept on saying, now, cat. That's dick lips, nigga. That motherfucker had dick on them lips. Don't no nigga drink like that. Now, cat.
I'll elaborate a little bit more on the situation, just a tad bit now, but more later. But as far as this, everybody's getting at Shannon Sharpe, and Eddie Griffin just seen the opportunity and he seized it at one of his recent shows. We'll talk about that a little bit more after this. But on the night chat with Ocho Cinco, Shannon Sharpe decided to respond to this because somebody asked a question in the Q&A.
Starcrest said, hey, I know y'all brothers made up, but it must be said, Shannon getting this sensitive over comedians cracking jokes about him in the workplace. Work is truly sad. Context is everything. Okay, Starcrest, I get it. Moved on. I mean, that's what they were. Hey, that's what they want to do. Fine, have at it. I'm done. But like I said, I gave my sister my word. I'm moving on. But she told me something about, like I said, I told my sister today, I sent her something, and she picked up the phone immediately.
Yeah.
She said, Shannon, what did Grady always tell us? She said, boy, a lie or die.
Yeah.
She said, Shannon, at some point in time, you're going to have to learn you can't fight the devil every day because you'll fight a never-ending war. Pick and choose the battles you want to fight. This ain't one you should want to fight. People going to let them say whatever. You know who you are.
Right.
You know what you are. What they're doing now is that they found out that Shannon is the hot thing. They're using the same joke, but at some point in time, it's going to get old and people are going to get tired of y'all saying that Shannon gay and Shannon this, and you're going to have to get back to telling jokes. Now, please tell me you're not running out of jokes. As Colonel Jessup said, please tell me you ain't pinned these two Marines on phone calls and toothbrushes. Please tell me. Please tell me you're not going to use Shannon as your punchline for the next 3, 4, 5 years. You're going to have to start telling jokes. Please tell me you got jokes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just get this out the way. Shout out to Shannon Sharpe, like I fucking know him or something. But yeah, he did a very great response to this controversy. As far as that, that's the first solid response I feel like he has done throughout this whole thing. And it's not necessarily a response to Eddie Griffin. It's basically somebody asking him and then him basically highlighting the conversation he had with his sister, saying that he was not going to address this stuff no more. And that's the issue that I'll get to a little bit later. But for further context, you could go back on my page and look at the Mike Epps stuff. Mike Epps was calling him gay. He thought that it would be a good idea to address Mike Epps indirectly, but everybody knew he was talking about Mike Epps. He didn't want to say his name because he felt like that would give him clout or add to the situation and stuff like that, but he wanted to talk to him directly, indirectly, without saying any names and stuff like that, which is not a good idea because we all know who he's talking about. You see all the blogs picked it up and stuff like that. So they go through that whole situation. They pretty much make up, shake hands, All-Star Weekend and all that stuff, because Mike Epps was about to whammy kablammy. So after that, Cam and Mace, they cover the shit. Mace pretty much doubles down and says, you can't be mad at people saying you zesty when you seem zesty, when it's an observation. It's not an insult, it's an observation. When in reality, it's a joke. I didn't even cover that because I thought it was irrelevant, honestly. And, Shannon didn't respond to that. And plus, Mace is just, he's, a sports broadcaster or a sports analyst at this point. So it is what it is, literally. Pun intended, I guess, or not intended. It just came out. But so Mace took a shot. And Mace been taking a lot of shots lately. He went at Dwayne Wade and stuff like that, whatever. He's just going. Now, outside of that, you also have Corey Holcomb, who has been shooting shots the whole time, way before this. When the Mike Epps shit happened, he had some shit to say about it. But then after the Mike Epps and him, made up, he then had some stuff to say about it again, and he finally apologized. So if you look at it, all of this is going on. Now, this is what's going on as far as the Eddie Griffin end of things. So if you look at this, Shannon has got hit with three attacks that I mentioned from three people: Mike Epps, Corey Holcomb, Mace. Three notable celebrities. He got hit within a matter of a fucking week, less than 7 days. Here comes Eddie Griffin. It's time to talk about this shit. I'm talking about Cat Williams. Can't talk about Cat Williams without talking about Shannon. And Eddie Griffin, if you watch his, The Foolish movie, I really believe that's who he really is when it comes to the comedy. He said he doesn't really write shit down. It's mostly improvisation and stuff like that. And he's a legend. He's a great comedian and stuff like that. But I say that to say he said the first things that came to his mind. He gay. That motherfucker gay. 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 That's what that nigga said. He hit him with the gay jokes and threw a little spice on it, just a little bit of sauce on it, added some context to the jokes other than just being gay, how he is separate from the drinks. But yeah, when you look at this, it's like the whole reason. He mentioned Corey Holcomb also. He did the same thing he did with Mike Epps with Corey Holcomb after the Mike Epps shit. So if you notice the pattern between those two comedians, both of those comedians made gay attacks on this cat, and Shannon gave a response, and it gave at least Mike Epps, a bigger platform. I don't want to say a bigger platform, but it gave him some publicity that he has been acting like he needs, because he has said himself he wanted to be mentioned in that Cat Williams interview. So Eddie Griffin said, fuck it, this cat is so responsive. Why the fuck wouldn't I talk about him? Why would I not be the third fucking comedian in 7 days, 7 fucking days, to get at this cat? Now, if you don't learn anything from this is what you should learn, man. When it comes to this social media shit, if you were the clout token, which most of you won't be in a position where you're a clout token to any degree, but some of you will. Some of you will. And I'm not talking about on the highest tier level to where you're a but if you popping locally and people give a fuck about what you're saying, or you got a lot of attention, or you popular, anything of that nature, if you become the clout token and people with less clout are trying to get a rise out of you for clout, and it's disrespectful to you, what you can do if it's not direct and it's on social media, or, they might at you or whatever, however they do it. And I could tell a story, and I will. But what you do, you have to pick and choose when you respond and how you respond. And that's what it is. I'd say all the time, I don't like a pick and choose person when it comes to the threats and the violence and all that shit. But when it comes to somebody attacking you, and you are somebody with clout, and you can see that they're clearly trying to get clout and stuff like that, you got to really look and say, man, do I even want to respond to it? And you can respond to it on your time. I've seen rappers do this all the time. I'll give you one example before we get out of here. Long story short, I made a joke on Facebook. I'm popping on Facebook, man. Not to y'all where I got millions of followers, but in my area, I'm popping type shit. So I made a joke. Somebody didn't like the joke. I'm not going to say what the joke was specifically, but they took it, and they're not as popping as me. But they took it to another part of Facebook and tried to put me on the Summer Jam screen, and they tried to start a little beef and stuff like that. So with that, I just fell back. Let them do that little shit they did over there. Let them do that little shit. I waited because I know how the game go. If I block this cat right now, and I know motherfucker, oh, you sassy, you blocking. Why would you block him? Whatever, man. I know if I block him right now, he gonna feel like he won. He paying attention to this shit. He gonna motherfucking put the shit up. Oh, he blocked me. Whatever. I waited about a week, laid on it, waited till all the shit blew over there and blocked him. Now what happens? You know, he's only got that, and this is somebody that I never see ever. Never seen this cat in my life. He never fucked with none of my shit. He never laughed at none of my other jokes. He just found something to be offended by the first time he ever decided to interact with me. Now the dude, he don't got no motion. He don't got nothing. He don't got no clout, no nothing. So him doing it on his little platform, that was going to, you know, have people, you know, on his platform going crazy, but them people don't even know me type shit. But if I were to engage with that, now my whole platform is like, oh, this motherfucker taking you up top, all that shit. I didn't have to engage in that. He wanted to get off. He got off at his own expense. He didn't get nothing from me from that because I seen what the play was. So, you know, in your life, you could look at that shit and all that. But when it comes to Shannon, I think he finally gets it. There's probably a 48 Laws of Power, you know, joint that you could correlate to this, but I wasn't really trying to get into all that, I'll be honest. But really, like, you know, you got to control the narrative. You got to control, you know, the situation. And if Shannon, I'll say this, I'll end on this note. Like, if Shannon really felt disrespected, if he really felt that it was something that needed to be addressed, he should do it, like I said, on his time. And what does that mean? They want clout. They want the notoriety. You seen Mike Epps say it himself. What you do, let these niggas say that shit. You do not address that shit on any of your platforms, even subliminally. If you feel like you gotta strike while the iron's hot, you send these niggas DMs. And you talk about that shit, you drop a location if you're really just bout it like that and you want to be gangster and shit. But you could ask these motherfuckers to hit your line so you could talk about that shit. You could do that, or you could bypass all that and just keep a mental receipt. And when you see them, then you go about it however you decide to go about it. If you want to have a conversation, you have a conversation. If you want straight action, you get the straight action, you know, however you do it. And I don't advocate for violence or anything like that. But when people blatantly disrespect you and stuff like that, even though I feel like what they saying is jokes, I think Eddie Griffin, seeing all the shit that's went on, he did this on purpose, not caring about the consequence. He not about to apologize or no shit like that. He not about to go that route. You know, he's one of the people who I feel seen all that shit play out and just got opportunistic with it. So that's my take. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out.